I hope everybody's doing well. Excuse my appearance. I am peeling a ceiling that I had already painted. I am usually not a painter. I have my guys that come and do the work, but it didn't fit the schedule for them to come this week or last week, so I've been involved, very involved in painting, and uh, now I painted the ceilings and they started peeling off because they have texture and they're peeling off. But I couldn't wait to make this video. So um, here I am, dusty, and it's super fitting that I'm making this video right now because as I'm working in silence here by myself, I realized that I needed to spend some time with myself. So I sat here in this corner and started meditating and asking for guidance and a little bit of assistance, so to speak, because it's it's a lot of work, and the guys can't come in until next week. My other helper didn't show up, so I feel like I'm by myself, right? I feel a little alone in a good way because I love solitude and it allows me time for silence. And I almost walked from this job yesterday because they didn't want to pay me for the extra work. They were trying to put responsibility on me. And I said, no, it's not my responsibility. It's an old house, and there's nothing we could have done about that. Just something that came up in the project. And the message is to stand your ground. Today, the message is you and I have a responsibility to own our life, own our decision making, and own the way that we choose to feel about anything that may happen. So I didn't work here yesterday and I stopped the project. I told, that's the problem, that I had, scheduled people to come and then I told them not to. So they went and worked with another contractor. And so I'm here doing, dirty work, which in the past, it would have really had me angry and doing it all, super angry. And I'm really not disliking any of it. I'm really enjoying scraping the ceilings by hand and, getting everything dirty that we had already cleaned up. And that, it goes to show that when you understand that every situation in life is a tool for your growth, for your acceleration, and for your remembrance, like nothing really can move you out of your center. You realize that every experience, no matter how it shows up in your life, it's an experience that is going to benefit you somehow. The money that I asked extra for this job doesn't cover any of my costs. It's to pay the helpers and material. It's not extra. It's just more time on the schedule, more money that comes out of my pocket, because the longer I'm here, the more money I lose. But I realize that money is only a tool. I realized a little while ago, and it doesn't control me as much. It doesn't have me making decisions solely based on money. And the reason I didn't walk out yesterday is because I thought about the lady. I thought about the owner of the house, and and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna leave her stranded with all that work incomplete or not completed. That's just not me. So I called her, and it was, she didn't say she wasn't going to pay. She just needed a little time, and that wasn't communicated to me, and I told them I'm not coming out of pocket. I'm going to go get my tools and leave it as it is. And but after talking to her and realizing that this is an opportunity for everybody to grow and understand, I decided to stay, and I'm doing it. And the lesson here for myself was, first of all, stand your ground. You know who you are, what you're about, what your work is worth, and you can't compromise about who you are, regardless of what experience comes your way. And that's the message to me. No, doesn't matter what experience come my way, I'm gonna handle it. Since yesterday, both of them, the owner and the realtor that is my client, that gives me, steady work. One of my clients that give me steady work, they're both were trying to place the responsibility on me when I know it's not my responsibility. I knew from the beginning that it was time, that this experience was another tool for me to grow in knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and acceleration. And that's what I picked to do, and that's what I did. And I felt so good at the end of the night. But I didn't get the message until late last night that they were gonna release another payment, and I seen it this morning. And before 7 o'clock this morning, the payment had entered my account. And but that would have not happened if I would have just say, okay, I'll do it. I'll take the hit. I call my guys and we'll do it at no expense. That's what I usually do. What I usually do is I take full responsibility and I make the customer happy. And no, not this time. This time I stood my ground and realized that there is a lesson for me to learn, and I try to learn it. I know there's more lessons coming through this, being that I still have most of the week to work here on my own. And when I started, like, there's no one here at the house, and when I sat here to meditate, all of a sudden I feel my helper's here with me. I feel like there's others in good faith, like learning from this experience. Everything that we do in life is a lesson to ourselves when we choose, and others benefit from it. So the reason I do the in-body experience, the IBE, is because everything in life is meant to move us and guide us in a direction of acceleration and understanding and growth and remembrance, right? There's nothing in this life that you take. Not one experience, not one item, not one tool that happens in this life. One tool, by tool I mean situation, person, feeling. Everything that happens outside of you, there are just tools to help us learn how to transmute energy and how to keep our emotions in check and our creations in check. So don't minimize the day-to-day life. That's your experience. Nothing in my life can change your life. I'm only sharing my experience, but you choose to take your own experiences and learn your own lessons through your own experiences. I could share my experiences until I'm blue in the face, and try to share the wisdom that I learned from it. But until you decide to act on the experience that you're receiving through your life, right? Life is it's not about a big event. It's not about, anything other than this very moment and how you decide to handle the emotional side of it, right? I can't stress this enough. Nothing that I tell you is going to change anything until I decide to learn from it. Like, even this, I could have gotten all bent out of shape and feel responsible for this, and then feel bad at the end because I'm giving more than I'm receiving, the whole thing. No, but I decided to learn from the past and not repeat the same mistakes, which is putting everybody else ahead of me and my family's needs, right? And you can have a balance, like once I realized I was going to go all out and come pick up my tools and leave everything the way it was, I realized, but that's not me. You see, I was telling my child about what integrity is, right? Because he's like, well, and a creation, it was a mixture, because creation is 100% related to your identity, and your identity is 100% related to your integrity. So integrity is doing what's right, what I understand to be right in my opinion. Integrity is not to live by someone else's rules. It's following your own internal compass. So I was telling my kid, he does sales in California, and he was having a hard time with sales, and he loved it. He want to keep on doing it, and he loves doing sales. But he was struggling, and I'm like, look, the problem is that until you have your identity set in place, like you know who you are and what you are about, and none of the tools are going to change that in a detrimental way, you cannot make these lessons stick. Because the purpose of the best salespeople are the ones that people are buying them. Usually people buy the salesperson, not the product. They're like, oh, I love this person, I'm gonna buy from them. That's the way the brain works. That's why they say that most sales are an emotional transaction. And it's true, because all the decisions that we make in life have an attachment to an emotion. So when we realize that everything in life is meant to be transmuted into a more creative experience for everybody involved, then you choose how you act in that situation. And that's what I told them. Whenever you go to a door, if your identity of you is not going to change by what they tell you or don't tell you, why are you investing all this energy into feeling like you're the one who's not doing great? Your expectation it's wrong, because the expectations have little to do with what this life presents you. It has everything to do with how you handle it. So right now we find ourselves in times where everything outside of us is screaming, what are you going to do now? What's your next step? How are you going to react to this, right? So what I'm saying is to myself, what I'm saying in my own life is like, I'm going to take the bull by the horns. I'm not going to allow this to change who I am fully, truly, completely. And again, that changes. That changes as you grow, mature, and learn. That identity, the more you remember, you realize, wow, like I can handle more. I can visit discomfort without letting it change me. I can visit a disagreement without letting it ruin my whole day. And that's the reason the next video on the series, this is just like a little pause, but the next video on the in-body experience is about purpose. And I'm going to introduce you to that video with this video, because everything in life is your purpose. Your purpose, in my opinion, the purpose in life is to experience. Why do you want to experience? So that you can take your creative ability and accelerate it and develop it as you experience. If not, it's a waste of time, and nobody's got time to waste, right? So what you do is you take every experience and mold the energy around it, the way you deal with people, the way you deal with yourself, the way that you want the end result of your life to look like. And it has little to do with the tools, with the external things. It has everything to do with who you end up being by the end of this experience here, right? Because when you're in that casket, when you die, when they burn your body, however you want them to dispose of your body, you don't take shit with you. You have nothing with you to bring with you but who you became in the process. And you transfer that identity onto the next stage of creation. That's why when you hear people talking about the outer body, they say you're the same when you leave this body, because this small part of you that is on earth is the one that goes and meets the other parts and either influence those parts beneficially or detrimentally. I don't know if that's a word, but either it's for the benefit or for the detriment of the whole you. So why not take every opportunity in life for growth? Why not say, you know what, I'm not going to let anything escape my awareness, and I'm going to engage with every experience in life and make that experience in life beneficial. That's your choice. It doesn't matter what the tool is. It doesn't matter what's presented to you. The situation does not matter. The person around you does not matter. Nothing else matters other than, okay, this is a tool for growth. This is a tool for remembrance. This is a tool for acceleration. How am I going to handle it? And that's when you love unconditionally. That's when you don't fear anything or anyone or any repercussions of any decision that you make. You're behind every decision, even if it doesn't look like it's the right decision at the time. That's when you say, you know what, this might have not been the best decision at the time, and I'm not okay with and I don't really like the consequences, but how am I turning this decision into something that's going to benefit me at the end? That's what I told the guy on the message, the last message I sent them before they decided to pay me. I'm like, listen, we can each of us take our own separate ways, but make sure that, you know, I'm learning my lesson from this one. I hope you do too, you know, because at the end of the day, this is not my passion. Painting shit and scraping ceilings and when that's not my passion. My passion is not remodeling. That's not my passion. That's not what I came here to do. I love that. No, I do it because I learned how to do it. It's a skill set that I have. I do it really good. I have great people that do it with me. Unfortunately, they're not here with me today, and it allows me to do this video without any distractions. But my purpose is to grow in understanding and share that with all of y'all. That's why I'm on earth, so that I can bring clarity to my experience and share that clarity not only with humans, but also with all of the other spiritual entities that are listening. And that's why I took a second of my day, couple minutes of my day, and I decided to come and shoot this video, and I'm gonna upload it without editing. And if you like it, subscribe. Be on the lookout for the next video coming out on purpose. Go and in my past video, there's gonna be a link to the Telegram group. We have another I Bend the Obi episode coming out with another beautiful person. And thank you for watching this, and thank you for not judging my appearance. Look, that's the mask. I have a mask. Actually, my tripod is the mask right now, but you can see the mask, you know, that I use to cover my breathing. You can tell that, you know, right here, that dust is, you know, being stopped by the mask, so I don't, you know, breathe all that crap in. But thank you for listening. We love you. I love you. The girls love you. Life is great, even when it feels shitty. If no one told you that they love you, I love you. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Make every experience part of the purpose. The purpose is to experience.